The cub wasn't supposed to survive long in a place like Ralvos 9. The planet was a hunting ground, a tourist slaughter park, where the rich came to kill creatures they never bothered to understand. The forests breathed neon mist, and the rivers glowed under twin moons. Everything looked beautiful right until it tried to eat you. That was the point. That was the attraction. Elias worked there because he didn't have a choice. A human mechanic, one among hundreds shipped out to keep the customers happy. He fixed broken rifles, refueled armored sky jeeps, and made sure the electrified cages stayed locked. It was survival disguised as employment. Even then, he kept his head down and avoided trouble. Humans were the smallest species on the payroll. Respect didn't come easy. The cub changed everything. Elias found it near the waste incinerator, trembling, no bigger than a shepherd dog but with fangs too large for its jaw, black fur laced with streaks of silver, eyes bright yellow, full of wild fear. Someone had dumped it like trash, assuming it would die before anything noticed. Its breathing rattled. A deep burn scar curled along its side where a plasma round had grazed it. Elias stared at it for a long moment. A predator cub, clearly one of the infamous nightclaw species. Even injured, it could shred him if panic took over. Every part of his brain told him to back away. He picked it up instead. It tried to squirm, a weak growl escaping, but exhaustion won. Elias wrapped the cub in his jacket. He had never been a soldier or a hero. He simply couldn't leave something alive to die alone. Maybe that made him foolish. Maybe soft. The hunters certainly thought so. By morning, word spread across the outpost. They gathered outside Elias's living quarters, laughing, pointing, enjoying the show. A human cradling a killer baby, cooing like it was a puppy. Hysterical. "Careful," one of them jeered. "When it grows up, it will rip out your throat first." Another slapped his knee. "Better to shoot it now." "Cleaner?" Elias ignored them. He cleaned the wound with stolen medical gel. He fed it water with a dropper. The cub slowly pushed its nose into his palm. Trust, fragile but real. He named it Kiro. Days passed. Kiro gained strength. He followed Elias everywhere, tail flicking, ears perked. The hunters tried to scare the cub, jabbing it with sticks, making growling noises. Kiro always hid behind Elias's legs. The men laughed harder each time. "Look at that. A nightclaw afraid of a breeze." Elias clenched fists he didn't use. Words burned in his throat he didn't speak. He made one promise to himself. Protect Kiro. No matter what. The hunters found new entertainment soon. They tracked rumors of a full-grown nightclaw in the region. A monster worth a fortune in trophy bonuses. Tall as a tank, armored with bone-plated hide. The kind that once served the royal armies during the old wars. The cub's parent. Elias knew it instinctively. The hunters geared up like heroes, weapons polished, cameras ready. They wanted a triumph to brag about across the galaxy. Elias repaired their rifles with quiet hatred. When the hunters returned 6 days later, everything went wrong at once. The sky jeeps roared into camp trailing smoke. Fewer seats were filled. The survivors staggered out, bloodied and terrified. Their boasts replaced by silent horror. The commander shouted for emergency containment. Something was coming. Something enraged. The alarms blared through the compound. Cages shut automatically. Defense turrets powered up. The walls trembled to the rhythm of heavy footsteps growing closer. The mother Nightclaw had followed them home. Hunters scrambled for weapons. Some hid. The commander barked orders without confidence. No one laughed now. Through the view panels, Elias saw the shape moving through the glowing woods. Massive. Muscles like boulders shifting under metallic fur. Eyes burning with gold lightning. There was no hunger in its expression. Only fury. They had wounded her. Worse, they had taken her cub. Kiro whimpered and tried to crawl through the window, desperate to reach her. Elias scooped him up. He knew exactly what he had to do. He pushed through panicked soldiers, ignoring shouts to fall back. The commander caught sight of him and snapped, "Human! Get away from that thing!" "No," Elias answered. His voice sounded stronger than he felt. He stepped through the front gate just as the mother Nightclaw crashed into the clearing. Turrets locked onto her. Lasers hummed, seconds from firing. Elias raised Kiro above his head. The Titan froze, her growl cut short. Her rage paused mid-breath. She stared at her cub, trembling in the human's arms. Elias placed Kiro gently on the ground and took a step back. "Go home," he whispered. Kiro gave Elias a final glance, eyes warm with trust, then sprinted toward his mother. She lowered her colossal head and nuzzled him against her chest, floodgates of relief pouring out in low, rumbling roars. The commander panicked. "Fire before they attack!" Turrets clicked. Elias threw his body between the weapons and the beasts. "Stop! They are leaving!" For a moment, no one listened. Guns cocked, targeting lasers locked. Elias felt his heart beat like a drum about to break. The Mother Nightclaw looked at him. Not like prey, not like threat, like a protector. She stepped forward, towering above him, her shadow swallowing him whole. The commander gasped. Everyone held their breath. She bowed her head to Elias, touching her snout to his chest. A gesture sacred to her kind, a bond, a promise. Kiro pressed his tiny forehead against Elias's hand, before the pair turned and vanished back into the neon mist. Silence followed, heavy and full of unanswered questions. Hunters who had spent weeks laughing stared at the human mechanic like they had seen a miracle. Some dropped their weapons. Some lowered their eyes in shame, because now they understood. He hadn't raised a predator. He had earned a family. And the galaxy would soon learn that Nightclaws repay their debts, especially when humans show them kindness first.